Welcome everybody to another episode of the Ask Lovely Spitting the Scene in 15 show. Today's scenario is going to be the coronavirus. What the hell is really going on around here? So, I am your host, Lovely Bones, and I want to thank you for showing up because I'm about to show out as I give you something to think about. Having said that, please have your zooms and whams together because it's going to be a really quick show. For the next 15 minutes, I'm going to ask you to put your thinking caps on, ladies and gentlemen, as we try to figure out together what the hell is really going on around here. Now, before I get started, I want you to know that I did some research regarding how Americans are affected during a crisis, like the psychological or emotional things that we go through when we're in a crisis situation. And I just want to check in with you guys to see if you guys are feeling any of the things that they say that Americans feel during a crisis. So let's just do a quick check-in and see where you are with this crisis. How are you guys doing out there right about now? Is anyone out there afraid?
Duh.
Is anyone out there feeling numb? Is anyone out there an emotional wreck? Is anyone experiencing grief, loss, or depression? Is anyone out there, you're just angry? Are you feeling alone? Do you feel overwhelmed and uncertain and confused about the future? Do you feel trapped in your own home? Are you having sleepless nights or loss of appetite, wondering how you're going to pay your bills and rent? Are you slumming around the house, neglecting your personal hygiene? Have you just let your hair go or grew a beard? If anyone is out there experiencing anything I just mentioned, then the government, our local officials, and the mass media at large has done their job, and their mission has just been accomplished. Now, I know you're thinking, what the hell does she mean by that? Well, just ask yourself this question. Since the breaking news of the coronavirus, have you been blaming Asian people for this catastrophe with hate crimes, funny stares, and sly remarks? Have you been hoarding at the grocery stores? Are you staying home from work even though you don't have to? Are you wearing masks and gloves when you go out into the community? Have you been washing your hands until your skin cracks and starts to burn? Have you stopped having family members and friends come over to your home? Did you try to run to the hills or to your second vacation home when you heard the virus was spreading fast? Or did you go out and make plans to build a bunker underground? Has your phone been buzzing with news alerts? Are you grocery shopping more than normal? Did you go out and purchase some guns and bullets? Has Netflix and Amazon become your new best friend? Did you remove chunks of money out of your bank account? Have you bought a new security alarm for your house just in case? Or are you the idiot that's out there screaming, just shut everybody down until the virus passes? If any of this sounds like you, then you have just confirmed that fear tactics work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't be home isolating yourselves from others. And you may very well need to stay at home from work. And maybe you do have a reason to be frightfully concerned. I don't know. I'm just saying that people behave and do strange things out of fear. Did you know that fear is one of the greatest tricks used by men to get one or more to conform? Yeah, it's a tactic. It's called fear tactics. And fear tactics are real. Not only are fear tactics real, but they're being used every day on us people in marketing and political strategies. They call this term appeal to fear. Have you ever heard of that? I didn't think so. So I'm going to share with you what appeal to fear means in hopes that you get a better understanding of exactly what's really going on with us today. Here's the definition of appeal to fear. A deceptive, misleading, or false notion in which a person attempts to create support for an idea by using deception and propaganda in attempts to increase fear and prejudice towards another competitor. I'm going to give you an example of what that means. So let's just take the competition between China and America over the 5G race. Well, it's obvious that China is winning the race. So Trump calls the coronavirus the Chinese virus. Now, I'm not sure if he meant it to be harmful or not, but you have to admit it would definitely have been a great strategy to increase fear and prejudice towards his competitor, China. You get it? The second definition is very similar to the first, except it adds when the appeal to fear is commonly used. An appeal to fear is a fallacy in which a person attempts to create support for an idea by attempting to increase fear towards an alternative. The appeal to fear is common in marketing and politics. We saw this 18 years ago during the 911 tragedy. Again, nothing to this magnitude had never been seen before on American soil. Many of us lost our loved ones. And again, mass media, the government, and our local officials bombarded us with the most horrible images imaginable. They fed on our fears and emotions, and the American people were devastated. And then the appeal to fear was used, just like with China today, except it was directed at Iraq, and they became public enemy number one. You got to pay attention to the patterns, people, is what I'm saying. Pay attention to the patterns. You have to understand that overreacting out of fear in times of a crisis tends to lead folks to making irrational decisions under stress and pressure. You know, like the folks out there screaming, lock us down, lock everything down. You have to be careful what you ask for. You have to remember that during 911, many Americans wholeheartedly supported going to war out of fear and anger. And as time went by, new information was revealed, which led some to believe there was foul play involved in the demolishing of the Twin Towers and other nearby sites that just fell for no apparent reason. It was like the greatest magic trick had been pulled right in front of the Americans right before our eyes. And we lost over 3,000 Americans. And many more people became ill after that happened. By the time the contradictory evidence was revealed, it was too late. We had already went to war. And we lost a lot of soldiers on the battlefield. And many of the soldiers who returned home, they weren't even the same. A lot of soldiers during the time of that war and even after had gone to YouTube and other social media platforms to express their disbelief in what they felt they were fighting for over in Iraq. So we have to be careful what we ask for, people, during a time of crisis. They're saying that this virus is more deadly because it spreads faster and also that it infects more people than the actual flu. If what they're saying is true, it's really hard to take it serious when our own president is not practicing social distancing. Look at this picture right here. This was just taken yesterday. 6, 7 people up on a podium close together. No mask, no gloves, no social distancing. So how are we supposed to take it serious when we're not seeing it taken seriously by our government and our elected officials? And it's equally hard to believe when I'm sitting here and I'm watching planes constantly fly over my house, back and forth. Why are people still in the air flying? They're flying in and out of hot zones during a time when they're saying this virus is highly contagious and can affect far more people than the flu. Why are airplanes still running? Why are bus companies still transporting people all around the city in certain areas? So why do we have to stay in the house and do social distancing when other people are flying around state to state? That just don't make no sense to me. All I can do is go with what I know is factual. And all I know right now is, for a fact, is that we're all on lockdown in the name of the coronavirus 19, where the rules seem to be changing daily. The virus appears to be jumping from country to country, state to state, and city to city, while taking some of our loved ones with it. Some would say it's the end of the world, it's a plague, it's a conspiracy, it's Superman, while others would say, well, it's a virus, and that's what viruses do. And you know what? You're absolutely right. This is what viruses do. Let's take a look at this chart as of 4/1/2020. With all states combined in the U.S., we have over 216 confirmed cases to date, with over 5,000 deaths and over 8,000 recoveries and climbing. Now, I'm not a mathematician, people, but the numbers don't look that deadly to me, considering the total number of confirmed cases across the U.S. Though they do expect this number to go up significantly because a lot of people have the virus and just don't know it, which means they're spreading it and they just don't know it. So we just have to wait. While we're kicking statistics here, were you aware that one of the top 10 leading causes of death across America was heart disease? Yeah, across the board in every state, hands down, heart disease is the number one killer for Americans in the US. In 2017 alone, we lost over 647,000 Americans to heart disease. 600, over 647,000 Americans to heart disease in 2017. I did not know that. But how could I when the media was not headlining the news and the government and our local officials were not making it seem like a devastating crisis, which it is when you lose 647,000 people to heart disease in 1 year. On the other hand, influenza and pneumonia is also one of the top 10 leading causes of death in America. Did you know that in 2017, we lost over 55,000, which is really closer to 56,000 people from the flu and pneumonia in 2017? I didn't know that. I didn't know that because I didn't hear my government and local officials, nor did I see mass media putting these devastating headlines across the channel, throughout the airwave and throughout the community, letting people know that the flu, just a regular flu, had killed 55,000 people, over 55,000. So what are we to think? When we see that the death tolls from the coronavirus has not yet surpassed the death toll from the flu in 2017, we are at just over 5,000 or 6,000 deaths to date from the coronavirus. And this thing has us on lockdown. It has us it's making major news headlines. It's all that's talked about day in and day out. And we haven't got nearly close to the amount of deaths that we're seeing from 2017 from the flu and pneumonia. That comes around every year. This virus, the coronavirus, is attacking the exact same people in the exact same hotspot areas that the flu normally hits every year. Look at this chart. So what's so special about this virus that everybody has to be quarantined and the whole planet needs to be on lockdown? Is it because it came from China? Not once in my 50 years of life on this beautiful planet have I ever seen our entire global system locked down. Not once. If I was the regular flu and pneumonia, I'd be pissed off right now. I'd be wondering why the coronavirus is getting more coverage than me when I'm taking down 55,000 plus people a year. And ain't nobody making great headlines about me and what I'm doing and how many people I'm killing. That's what I'd be saying if I was the flu. Because the coronavirus is getting all the attention. So my question is this. Where was all these headlines in 2017 when the flu killed over 55,000 Americans? I think it was like 55,672 to be exact, nationwide. But with the coronavirus, every day we're reminded how deadly this virus is. And every day we're being bombarded with the worst images imaginable. And every day we're being informed of the number of lives being lost due to the coronavirus. And every day we're hearing how fast this thing is spreading and how many is expected to die in the future from this virus. I have to be honest with you. I'm not sure if they're informing us or just trying to scare the shit out of us. But I do know an appeal to fear is being used, and fear tactics are definitely into play right now. Now, I can't relieve your fears, but what I can do is arm you with some information to help you draw your own conclusions. Knowledge is the power that gives you the opportunity to lean towards your own understanding and not be guided by the powers to be. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I am open to any dialogue that creates a proactive step towards our unforeseen future. The only thing I know for damn sure is that the world is on lockdown, y'all. That part is real. And some of you may be shocked that we're here and we're experiencing this, but this is a ship that has been sailing for a long time through a cold, dark sea, blanketed in fog for a very long time. We just couldn't see it. We've been blinded by the fog. We've been resting in the land of Nod. We've become complacent with our daily lives. Oh, yes, we have. So maybe, just maybe, it is time we take a look in the mirror in the hopes that we may see a small reflection of ourselves and recognize that we too may have played a role in our own demise. We so busy in our daily lives, people, we can't see what's right in front of us. So I suggest you use this lockdown time to think, reflect, and get your mind, body, and soul together, people, because this thing will never really be the same when it's over. I'm not trying to scare you. I am, however, trying to prepare you for what may be to come. I don't believe this is the end of the world, but I am wondering if the coronavirus 19, the catalyst for the new world order, and if what we are experiencing now is just a practice test of things to come. It's just a thought. So I'm challenging each and every one of you that's out there listening to please pay attention. Pay attention to the patterns. Do your due diligence and know that there is power in the people when we come together over a common cause. And just know we got to get our shit together, people. We have got to get our shit together. I can barely recognize us as a nation compared to who we were 50 years ago. I mean, yeah, we advanced in technology in many areas, but morally, we're a piece of shit society that just craves more and more bullshit. Shit that we don't need. And our houses is full of all these gadgets that we barely even use. And it's everywhere. We're kind of like the people in the movie Needful Things by Stephen King. If you have not seen this movie, I suggest you check it out. And if you have seen it, watch it again so you can comprehend what I'm talking about when we meet up next time. If you feel intrigued, empowered, or just curious, then tell a friend to tune in to my next Spit in the Scene in 15 show where we'll be discussing the stimulus package. What the hell is really going on? Don't forget to bring your thinking caps, folks, because I can't think for you, but I can give you something to think about. My name is Lovely Bones. You guys are the best. Thank you to all my subscribers and all you new viewers for sharing this moment in time with me. Until next time, peace and love be with you all. And remember to check the description box below for some of the content that was shared today during the show. I'm out.